and you were like, "Are you crying?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm just like enjoying the trailer." I
swear, your eyes were watering.
I'm not. They were not watering, guys. I actually hadn't seen the trailer yet. I just hate how you won't let me have a freaking moment.
I just thought you needed a hug.
I don't need a hug. I want to freaking enjoy it in peace.
I didn't know what was going on.
My eyes were dry, y'all. She's just like, "You crying?" I'm like, dude, it's just a beautiful.
Like, no, I'm not crying. I'm watching a trailer.
Stop the cat. Remind me of different white character actors. So there's Jennifer Coolidge for her mom. Her dad, just like Bert Kreischer, the comedian. And then Uncle Marty kind of looked like Paul Giamatti. Yeah. Both of them were like peak interesting when they were interesting, you know?
Yeah.
Just as something that's like free on your TV. Free if you already pay for Netflix, guys. But just like, you want to like cook dinner and watch this? Both were
you could just go to someone's house, use their Netflix, use their electricity, eat their food, and everything is free. We cracked the code.
We cracked the code, guys. I Love Lamp, here with your financial hacks.
Yeah, got you the discount.
I love lamp. Do you really love the lamp, or are you just saying it because you saw it?
I love lamp. I love lamp.
Lamp. Wish you were a lamp that would light up when you get touched.
Lamp. Lamp. Lamp.
She might be dead.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. This is I Love Lamp, episode 4.
Episode 4, I Love Lamp.
We're back in the home studio after a long holiday break. It feels like forever since we recorded. Anyway, I'm Jeremy.
I'm Alyssa.
And we're I Love Lamp, where we shine a light on the things we love.
Yeah, a relationship podcast where we're in a relationship and we talk about relationships.
What could go wrong?
Almost everything.
Okay.
It's like the chuckles, hee hee, I'm in danger.
I'm in danger. Legitimately. Okay, we got you recording.
Send help if any of my friends are watching this. Send help.
Help me.
Blink if I need help. Blink if you're being tortured.
No, I am.
I didn't see you blink.
Okay. So let's kick it off with, how are you doing?
I'm pretty good.
First of all, where are you from? What do you do?
I don't even like these questions at all.
I'm just, obviously, I don't really want you to answer them. We've discussed how you don't like surface level questions, and that's why you don't like meeting new people, because you want to just be able to skip right to the good stuff. Right, to the hard-hitting, this is what I'm about type questions.
Well, I just always thought the how are you question is so funny, because generally, you're supposed to be like, oh, I'm good, how are you? Like something positive and stuff. And it's always like, what if someone is in the grocery store and they were like, you know what, I'm actually doing pretty bad, and just like total other story. I feel like
there's probably a right way to handle that. Like, I'm sorry to hear that. Have you called your mom lately? Like my mom's dead.
Yeah. I just never asked that question in case that happens.
I never knew my mom, etc. Yeah, but sometimes I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm well. Right, so we just spent a long time, like 5 days in Texas, 3 in Illinois.
I flew Southwest.
All right.
It's hard.
Get into it.
No, I mean, obviously they all canceled
a
lot of their
mass
flights.
Cancellations over at Southwest over the holiday.
Southwest, like 28,000 cancellations. Delta, 3 for a day. It's like, okay. I don't know. It didn't affect me too much as like other people who were super stranded, but they did give everyone 25,000 points, which is cool.
No wonder my points are virtually useless. I freaking bought 20,000 Southwest points, and now it's not even enough for a round trip to Dallas. Maybe it wouldn't have ever been, but I feel like they're a little devalued right now. I wonder if anyone's running a currency exchange on points. It's like a whole little
it's almost like
side economy.
Almost
that
like
shit
a
work?
Bitcoin type of thing.
Sure,
But just
like,
for
it's like
Southwest.
that. Yeah. I'm drinking non-alcoholic beer for dry January. Government mandated. Dry January.
Yeah, so I'm doing it with you. Got
At
the
Genesee.
kombucha.
Yes.
I love kombucha.
We are skirting the lines of sobriety. We've got Kedem grape juice. We've got non-alcoholic beers and kombuchas. Sobriety is important, and it actually made for a really productive week and a good week, but definitely on the weekends I'm feeling myself craving it a little more. Just at those times that I'd normally reach for a beer. Friday afternoons, weekend ahead, or just wanting to relax on the couch with a drink. Nothing serious, guys. I'm not like getting my stomach pumped or anything, but I do miss drinking beer. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, I don't miss it as much as you. I feel like, because I was telling you earlier, like I love drinking, like not just alcohol, but like all kinds of things, like the boba and smoothies and like kombucha and like green juice. Like I just love drinks, like any kind of different drink. So I'm like, when I kind of want to like have a glass of wine or something, I'm like, oh, a new flavor of kombucha. Like it's kind of fun for me.
Drinks are honestly pretty goated.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to do. You don't got to cut anything. And there are such a great variety. Mm-hmm. Boba, smoothies, juices. There's fizziness or not.
Yeah.
You can kind of hold it with just one hand,
Oh, and coffees. I forgot that. That's a major one.
What's your Mount Rushmore of drinks? If you could only have 4 drinks for the rest of your life. We'll go ahead and say water is a freebie.
Yeah,
no need to list water.
Like definitely iced coffee for like the mornings.
That checks for you.
For my whole life, I would need some kind of pre-workout. So I feel like those two.
Okay, coffee and pre-workout. You're going to spend 2 on like uppers type drinks?
Yes. And then kombucha and I don't know, that's too hard because then it's like that last one is like, what do I put there? Smoothie. I feel like I should do something healthy.
Kombucha is relatively healthy.
Yeah. But I'm thinking like, I don't know, maybe smoothies.
Okay, so you said pre-workout, coffee, kombucha, and smoothies.
Yeah, but it's hard
Solid.
because I don't really like just plain coffee. I want stuff in it.
Yeah,
and that would
you said iced coffee.
But that would take up my drink choices. Like
no, just say that once it's one drink.
Okay,
and that's just the one drink. But
and
you can't just have
coffee
that
with oat milk.
Okay, but you couldn't have oat milk separately. Okay. Solid lineup. I would go with beer.
Okay.
Seltzers. I just really like the fizziness.
So you would take 2 alcoholic drinks and not
no,
two
not
uppers?
Not seltzer like Rambler or LaCroix or Death Water.
Yeah, okay.
That type of seltzer, non-alcoholic.
Although
it would be kind of a cool little work-in if I could also include alcoholic seltzers like High Noon in there. But in respect to the game, I'll say that's a different drink. Those are my first 2. If I said a soda, would it have to be a particular kind of soda or just soda in general?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm not going to do sodas because I already have 2 fizzy ones. I don't want to find myself in a situation where I'm like, oh my God, I'm sick of fizzy drinks.
I guess you wouldn't have to just say just one because I said smoothies earlier. There's so many different kinds.
I'll just say protein drinks, like whey protein.
Oh, yeah, you drink those a lot.
And then the 4th one, ooh, you're kind of experiencing this. The 4th one is like, oh my God, I'm all out after this. If I say wine, will it make me sound like an alcoholic? I would hate to never drink wine again, but it seems kind of disposable. Like, that can't be my 4th one. There's got to be something. Smoothies?
See, it's like difficult because when you think of like your whole life.
You know what? I need an upper still. So I'm going to say tea.
Green or black?
Just tea.
Oh, okay. True.
I could do boba from that. And it would mean no more coffee. So that's my Mount Rushmore. Ooh, good thing there's such a variety of drinks, and we don't have to choose, except for I'm not drinking. We're doing Dry January. Hey guys, Dry January has come again. It's like Sober October, except it's at the beginning of the year, and it's fueled by the desire to be better in the new year, right? Not necessarily for us, but like, why is Dry January a thing?
Do you think it helps your memory?
I honestly don't think so.
Yeah, because we just talked about that we're doing Dry January.
Yeah, but I'm reframing it.
Yeah,
I'm thinking
like,
from a clip, like
confused.
from a clip perspective, like from an editing. Like, okay, boom, we start from there, and we're calling it Dry January.
Dry January, because everyone hates being wet.
I think because everybody drinks too much over the break. You know, just being at home and like, you know, watching TV at their parents' house, and what else can you do?
Yeah.
Which we did way more than that, but I've definitely had Decembers in the past where it's just like, oof. In
Especially
January,
if
I gotta chill.
Especially if your town's kind of like smaller, not much things to do, you know?
Shout out Springfield,
Illinois.
Illinois. That is
Zion.
freaking hometown of. Well, is it his hometown?
Abe?
Abraham Lincoln.
He grew up there. And
Big Abe in the crib. Yeah, I guess he spent like part of his upbringing in like Kentucky, but then he came to like he started his political career in Springfield. That was a cool experience. We went to the Abraham Lincoln Museum.
Yeah, it was really fun. It was very like immersive. You walk through, and they have that show we watched. It was like 3D with the bombs and the cannons, and
Yeah.
like the scene where John Wilkes Booth was up top, and it like did the shadow and his footsteps, and they like jumped down on the stage and did like the fake assassination.
There's some production value there,
yeah.
for sure. And yeah, met some of your family for the first time. You've already met my family on a number of occasions, but it's good to meet, you know, Miss Faye and Uncle Marty and John and Mandy.
Joe.
Shout out Joe.
like-
My bad, man. It's been a few days. Jay something. And your mom, who kind of reminded me of, can I say it?
Yeah.
Jennifer Coolidge. We got the White Lotus on the brain. We were actually saying that some of her key figures in her life remind me of different white character actors. So there's Jennifer Coolidge for her mom, her dad, just like Bert Kreischer, the comedian. And then Uncle Marty kind of looked like Paul Giamatti. Paul Giamatti, dude. Oh my gosh. But yeah. Dude, we saw Avatar: The Way of Water. And since we were last recorded, we've actually seen it twice.
Yeah, the first time we tried to see it in a drive-in movie theater.
Yes. And we sat in my truck bed, and there's not like a
We
back
got all
window.
our snacks ready.
Yeah, I
we
got
the
the
whole
snacks.
setup, all set up and everything, and then we are relaxed. We go to watch it, and there's like no window to open to listen to the sound.
Right.
And
So
we're like,
I opened the windows and cranked the volume, but it just wasn't really hitting.
yeah, and
Like
then
muffled.
the movie's so long, the car kind of like would turn off the sound, so you'd have to like get up and like turn it back on, and we kind of just gave up because we didn't know what was going on.
Yeah. Honestly, like the 20 minutes that we went back in the truck before we left and just listened to the sound, which they like played through a radio channel, I was like, oh my God. It just became so apparent how much we had missed.
Yeah, because when we watched it for real in the movie theater,
Yeah.
like the first 2 minutes, we already were like, oh, that gives so much to this story.
Yeah. So it's been 13 years since the original Avatar came out. I think it came out in like 2009.
I actually haven't seen that one yet.
You haven't seen the
So,
original
so-
one?
Mm-mm.
What?
I need to. But I like the second one. I feel like I understood what was going on.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Stuff.
it's pretty legible. It's never super about the story. I mean, the story is just not super intricate with Avatar, but it's more about like the experience, right? Because James Cameron, big movie theater movies. It was like the first movie to like be super mainstream 3D, and up until like Endgame and Black Panther came out, it was the highest grossing movie like worldwide of all time.
Yeah,
for a long
I
time.
remember it got a lot of buzz
Yeah.
and stuff.
But yeah, it's back. I think I just saw they crossed 1.5 billion today worldwide, but it cost $2 billion to make. I don't know if that's right. Maybe it's cost $2 billion. They like already shot the first two, the next two, like 2 and 3, and they're like editing 3 right now. James Cameron, which for those of y'all don't know, he's the guy behind Titanic, Terminator 2, Aliens. He's like known for these big blockbuster movies, and this is like what he wants to do like for the rest of his movie making career, or at least for a stretch. He has like 5 planned.
We can fact check those numbers at the end, but maybe it's just kind of like if he didn't make that much right now, it's just something like a passion project for him.
Yeah.
So he doesn't really care too much about making money, but also his like previous movies did really well, so he's probably expecting it to surpass.
For sure. He's got like kind of a blank check in Hollywood.
Yeah.
He's like flexing on all of us. Like, I'm going to make, I remember when I saw the announcement, I was like, I'm going to make 4 more of these.
Well, didn't you say that he like went in the ocean for like 12 years or something?
Yeah, so he's very passionate about the ocean, and he like
I
has
could
gone
tell that
down
in
with
the
like
movie.
diving and like submarines and like awareness about, you know, conservation and like the planet is like his main cause. Like,
I feel like you could see some of that in the movie, like with the water scenes and like what was underwater and the life and stuff. Like you'd have to be like down there observing to get that on camera. I feel like
he's clearly really into it.
Yeah,
he's like I'm a water guy. Man.
Yeah,
it's funny because it's just a really good movie. You know, it's not perfect, but I had a great time watching it, especially the second time. I kind of want to see it again.
It had a really good plot, like a good story. I really liked it.
We were watching the trailer earlier, and you were like, "Are you crying?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm just like enjoying the trailer."
I swear, your eyes were watering.
I'm not. They were not watering, guys. I actually hadn't seen the trailer yet. I just hate how you won't let me have a freaking moment.
I just thought you needed a hug.
I don't need a hug. I want to freaking enjoy it in peace.
I didn't know what was going on.
My eyes were dry, y'all. She's just like, "You crying?" I'm like, dude, it's just a beautiful.
No, I'm not right. I'm watching a trailer.
Stop the cap.
Yeah, you did.
But yeah, man, it was cool. Good movie. I'm probably gonna see it again, and I'll cry if I want to without your ass.
Okay.
Got my Cinemark movie credits stacked up to the ceiling, so maybe I will go see it again. 3 hours, guys. Prepare yourself. It's like 3.5 hours long, and apparently there's an extended cut that's like 9 hours long.
Yeah.
So,
I think it might be 12. Actually,
prepare yourself for that. Anyway.
Anywho.
So that was Avatar: The Way of Water. I would definitely say experience it in theaters if you have the time and the money.
Yeah, I feel like that's the best way to watch it, just because like with the surround sound and the movies have very immersive.
I don't think you must see it in 3D.
Yeah.
For the third time, I want to see it in 3D if I do end up dragging my ass back to the theater for 3.5 hours.
Yeah, I don't know if I could watch it that long for 3D, 3.5 hours.
I'd be
But
into
try
it.
it.
Yeah.
Like it'd be
if you
fun.
don't wear glasses, try it. Because
Can you
that
still
glasses
watch it
on
regular
glasses.
without glasses if you go to
If
the
it's
3D? Yeah.
No, because you can, but it's not.
It's like blurry.
Yeah, it's like they do this, refraction thing that when you look at it without glasses, it just doesn't make sense. It's gonna hurt your eyes even more and be like, "What the fuck am I looking at?" We've been kind of on a little mini 2023 movie kick though since we've been back.
Yeah, we have that bucket list.
Oh, those 10 most anticipated movies of 2023.
Yeah, I'm excited about those ones.
I was talking about the 2 Netflix movies we've seen recently. I'm referring, guys, to Glass Onion, a Knives Out story.
I loved Glass Onion.
Okay, but how'd you feel about White Noise?
I just wanted to check it out because I've been seeing a lot of buzz about it, and it was interesting. It was interesting.
It was interesting.
Grocery store scene. I don't know why. It was just very
Don
aesthetic.
Cheadle, like, waxing poetic about grocery stores and, like, their cosmic importance and stuff. I was just like, bars.
Yeah, it's just really visually appealing, and I just didn't really understand what was going on. I mean, I did, but I was just kind of like, it was a confusing plot to follow.
So I looked it up, and apparently it's based on a book, which makes a ton of sense.
Oh, okay.
It seems kind of uneven from act to act. So the first act of we're talking about White Noise, guys, is like kind of like a family thing where the college There's a college professor, Adam Driver, who is a professor of Hitler studies. Shout out, yay.
Oh, that makes sense because that was like a main part in there. I was like really confused.
Yeah, and then Don Cheadle is like his rival, who's like professor of Elvis studies.
Oh, yeah.
And there's like clearly some big ideas about like in groups, out, like being in the group and like religious experience through a powerful figure. And yeah, it was just kind of like a trip. It was like all 80s themed too.
Yeah, I liked that visual aspect of it.
And then the second act is like a natural disaster.
Yeah.
That one might have been my favorite, the second bit. And then the third one gets really weird with like a wedding, like a marriage drama kind of thing. It started to lose me. I'm like, what the fuck is this movie about? But I do want to read the book, so.
I didn't know that was books. So that's interesting.
Supposedly, it was like Infinite Jest before Infinite Jest. If y'all know what I'm talking about. It's like a very adolescence coming to like, whoa, this is what the world is about. Like the deeper meaning behind everything type of book for like kids in the 80s.
It's a good explanation.
Yeah, if you've read either of those. I haven't read Infinite Jest. I just know that was like kind of the one for the 90s. Like kids in high school would be like, have you read Infinite Jest? Change everything, man. Think about it, man. Like, I'm just like, that is a fat ass book. And I like read the first few pages. And I'm like, no, not for me. Not yet, at least.
I didn't even know that was a book when you were saying that. I thought that was just like some phrase. And I was like, yeah, Infinite Jest.
Let's turn the lamp to the other one, to Glass Onion, a Knives Out story.
Yes, I absolutely loved that movie.
That was super fun. Really fun movie.
It was just so like plot twisty. You had to keep up with it going on. Like you would think, and you like really didn't. Everything would turn. And I feel like a lot of movies are like that, which made this one, I think, hard to make.
Right.
Like trying to think of people's assumptions with classic murder, whodunit movies.
So it's a murder mystery.
Yeah, and it was really good. I loved it. I don't want to spoil or give anything away, but what was your favorite part, maybe?
My favorite part? The characters. Yeah, it's an ensemble movie. So Daniel Craig, of course, is the detective. And it's always funny because his character's like very deliberately different from James Bond in some key ways, because for a lot of us our age, Daniel Craig is James Bond first. So like whenever he's like kind of not smooth, but turns out that was partly an act, but it's just like, oh, this is weird that he's like showing different parts of his like repertoire.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But
I really liked how they
what's some other characters you liked?
I can't point anything. I liked them all in their like different ways. I thought they were funny, but I really liked how they showed people's different perspective of how the night went. It was almost kind of like the after party, like each side of the story,
which was an Apple
and then
TV
it,
series.
Puts
guys.
it more together, which I really liked.
Yeah, it's just like layering it.
Yeah,
you
it's
think
like the plot thickens.
Yeah, you think you kind of know where it's going, and
Your
then
mouth is
boom.
agape, wondering what's next.
Yeah. Freaking Dave Bautista in there. Shout out Pinoy Gang. He was really good in that. He's really becoming
Was it
a
Drew
movie
Barrymore?
Star. As Birdie?
Yeah.
No, that wasn't Drew Barrymore. That was, let's see, Kate Hudson. It was Kate Hudson, yeah.
I liked her character.
And then, of course, Janelle Monáe as kind of like, well, no spoilers, but, the partner of the rich kind of like tech billionaire Elon Musk figure played by Edward Norton. That island is freaking sick, too.
Yeah. I want to see if that was like an actual place, like look in the house and stuff.
For sure. Yeah, that was a good one. Both on Netflix, guys.
Yeah.
So.
Seriously, check them out. They're really good. But if you were to watch one first and you couldn't watch the other, I would watch Glass Onion.
Yeah. Watch Glass Onion and, White Noise if you're a big Adam Driver stan, or if you like Birdie.
Or watch White Noise first, because if you watch Glass Onion and then White Noise, you'll probably be disappointed.
We watched one on Monday and one on Wednesday. And for sure, Glass Onion was a little more satisfying. Although,
Yeah.
Both of them were like peak interesting when they were interesting, you know?
Yeah.
Just as something that's like free on your TV. Free if you already pay for Netflix, guys. But just like, you want to like cook dinner and watch this? Both
Or
were
hey, you could
fun
just go to
experiences.
someone's house, use their Netflix, use their electricity, eat their food, and everything is free.
We
Cracked the code.
we cracked the code, guys. I love Lamp here with your financial hacks.
Yeah, got you the discounts.
Have you
for
ever
the
thought
low, low.
about just going to your friend's house? Remember when we had friends?
Yeah. Well,
not you and me
but, like-
separately. Remember when I had friends?
Or like you have to be home before the lights turn on, the street lights. Was your curfew?
I don't know if I ever had that situation when I was growing up.
Is it perhaps because you didn't?
No, I had friends.
I wasn't going to say that.
My eyes aren't watering.
I mean, do you want to talk about that?
We're moving on. All right, welcome back to I Love Lamp. I'm Jeremy.
And we back.
We back. 2023, we going hard in the paint. We're not drinking. We're mostly not fighting.
Yeah. We're not drinking anything.
And we're
not even water. We're like nothing.
I'm freaking desiccated. I'm freaking parched.
Dehydrated.
Straight up not having a good time. I haven't peed in 4 days. We just got our little baby Gus a haircut.
Long needed.
Yes.
He's getting shaggy.
He was getting
Shaggy
matted.
boy, yeah.
As far as Gus watch, that's what's up.
Well, actually, another new thing, too, because he was on that little dog camp. He came back
Yes.
really, like, changed a little bit. Not in a bad way or anything, but
Camp
he
Bow
used to
Wow.
be so afraid of big dogs when we were walking. He would kind of, like, whimper to be afraid. And we were walking on the beach, and he was, like, going up to them himself. He was, like, initiating it and, like, wanting to play. And so that was cool to see. He's definitely more outgoing.
Mature.
Yeah.
Actually, he barks a lot.
They brought him out of his shell. Yeah, he does talk a lot.
He does talk a lot, excuse me.
Well, bark, talk, whatever. I don't know what he's saying.
We were watching him on the little
Yeah,
camera
that was
throughout the
fun
break.
to do.
Away from our
Yeah.
little guy for like 10, 11 days, so we were able to watch him on the cam. I think basically Camp Bow Wow was a great service and an experience for him. I think he's matured a lot. He's matured.
Because the first couple of days we were watching him on the cam, and he was getting like moved out of the big dog area to the medium dog area to the small dog area, and then he worked his way back up. But it was cool to see him grow and there and stuff, and yeah.
He did get a little matted though, so good thing he's got a haircut.
Yeah.
So that's Gus.
His
And
cone is off.
yeah. Oh, when we dropped him off, the cone was still on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like on our last video too, I believe.
Yep.
Conehead boy.
Conehead boy.
Not
Lamp
anymore.
Boy. All right. What do we want to do next?
What's
Ins and
on
outs?
our radar?
You want to do ins and outs?
Sure.
Okay. We're talking about what's in and what's out for 2023. This could be fun and maybe a little cringe.
What's out?
Southwest.
Jaguars jerseys.
Jaguars jerseys are in, baby. We're going to the playoffs. Actually, depends because at 8 o'clock, which is actually in like 30 minutes, the game starts. The Jaguars are playing the Tennessee Titans for the AFC South Championship. So we could be going to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Which is huge for the city of Jacksonville. I've only been here for a couple of years, so they went from, pretty ass last year to pretty decent this year, and, I'm sure it's like even more cathartic if you've just been watching them be ass for years and years and years. But
When I moved here, I didn't even know there was an NFL team for the
You didn't?
city. No. I've never heard of the Jaguars.
it's like the only thing I knew about Jacksonville
Really?
for a while. That and like some of my friends had come from here, and like they didn't say anything about it. It just seemed like super vanilla, every city USA type of thing. But we found some personality here.
Yeah.
I like
I
Jacksonville
like
a
it a
lot.
lot.
I don't want to live here for the rest of my life, but I don't mind like having a period to get my shit together here.
Yeah, we still have a lot more to explore in this.
Clearly. Okay, ins.
Okay, what's in?
Amtrak is in.
Yeah.
Taking trains in 2023 is in, guys. We took the Texas Eagle, a train in Texas, clearly, from Longview, Texas, an hour from where I live, all the way up to Springfield, Illinois. We were on there overnight.
It was a 15-hour train ride.
15-hour train ride. But hey, at least we got to stop in freaking Hope, Arkansas.
Just some random.
Super random. I think we stopped through Kansas City in the middle of the night. Some fucking people were waking us up at 3 a.m. But yeah, we were in St. Louis at 7 a.m. and then got off in Springfield at 9 a.m. after 15, 16 hours on the train. I got some dope shots in St. Louis. I need to look through my SD card and fucking pull some of those out. Yeah, I got to play with my Fuji. Shout out my Fuji X-T4, and being a photographer was a lot of fun. Photography is in 2023.
Less words is in 2023.
Okay, brevity is in. Superfluous
Long
verbiage
spiels
is
are
out. Long spiels are out. Yes.
They gotta go.
I'm out
Cut it out.
I'm out of aviation, so long spiels are out. I ain't memorizing a long thing ever again. But we'll see about that. Southwest is out. Sorry, guys.
Oh, yeah.
You fumbled the bag. I really wish I shorted them.
Yeah.
Talking
Even
about
though
stocks.
you're flying with them February.
Well, I haven't bought the tickets yet,
Oh.
but I already copped some points.
Yeah.
I copped 20,000 points for them.
Southwest, you're out. But
And
I'm
it
going to
turns
fly
out
with you.
Turns out that's not enough for a round trip from Dallas to Jax. Or Jax to Dallas. Yeah, whatever. It's a round trip. Because all their points are probably devalued because they had so many cancellations over the break. What else is in? What's in 2023? If we can't think of anything, then I will look up some things that some tastemakers said on culturedmag.com.
Yeah, because I can't think of anything right now off the spot.
How about drinking is out until February?
That's okay.
Drinking to excess is out. Doing drugs, however, just kidding. No comment. Chewing gum is always in.
Unless it's sugar gum, then you obviously do not care about your teeth. You're out. You've always been out. Well, hey, you chew sugar gum.
I don't know.
That's so okay. So when you eat a candy bar, that's better for your teeth because it's all going down. You're chewing sugar gum for 30 minutes. You're just chomp chomp.
I probably don't.
Everything. It's so bad for your teeth.
I probably do not. This is not sugar gum.
Yeah,
it
I
came
don't
from a
think so.
freaking,
I'm talking
direct service.
Hubba Bubba, like those.
This
GC
is
Fruit.
Quip, guys. If you know the toothbrushes.
That's a cool one. That is like a mint that turns into gum.
See that?
I really like
I
that.
caught it. I hope I caught it on the camera.
This is special gum that I won't tell anyone my secret.
Yeah, but it's for smokers.
Or if
Yeah,
you
I
want-
pocket watch. Oh my god, no. Out. Chewing on podcasts is out. This is a terrible
Well,
idea.
good thing I store. I don't know
Okay.
why I do that.
Some people will. It's literally their
I don't
nails on chalkboard.
Oh, I have another thing that's out.
No.
You don't know what I'm gonna say, don't you? Don't you?
Oh boy.
What am I gonna say?
Chomping and making loud chewing noises is
Yeah,
out.
when we're eating, this is out. That's out. Leave it in 2022. Let's eat with our mouths closed this year.
Okay, fair enough. How about privacy is in and pocket watching is out?
Yeah, but what is pocket watching?
I don't know, both looking at what other people have and also just looking at people's phones is out.
Yeah, that's why I have a privacy screen protector now.
Yes, and yet
Only
you always
people
look at
can't see-
mine.
No, I don't.
You always look at mine
Nope.
while you screen yourself. That's called projection, y'all. She's projecting. Some of these are
Sneak
ridiculous.
dissing.
Sneak
is
dissing is out. Saying it to my face is in. Say it to my face. Email us.
Yeah.
Link in the bio. I'm not spelling it
We're
anymore.
talking to you, hater, in our YouTube comments.
Yes, we have our first hater, guys. So yeah, we're rocket ship to the top. We have our first hater on our YouTube short that Alyssa posted saying, Zoomers are doomed. Zoomers are doomed. Kind of
Yeah.
vague. Clearly, they think that we are of Generation Z or Z.
Yeah, or like influencing them. I don't know. I kind of like it.
I love it. Pile on the hate. Light our fire. We going to the top. Okay, here is Jemima Kirk's ins and outs for 2023. What's in? Pregnancy. What do you think?
What?
Real flowers. Gentle parenting. Nature. Saying goodbye. Casual. What's out? Personal aspirations. Damn.
What?
Fake flowers. Extreme parenting. Living room. Stepping out for a smoke and leaving. Overdressed. Okay, so that was kind of like...
Why? It's like aspirations are out, but pregnancy's in. That doesn't add up.
I'm sure that one's very personal for her.
And then,
Let's see. What's in? Reality. Dopamine fasting. Ball gowns. Self-love.
what are you on?
Cultured. I put it in the link.
Yeah,
in
but
the
I can't get it up right now. Sorry. Cultured.
Tastemakers in out list 2023. What's out? Unconsciousness. Dopamine binging. Nightgowns. Emotional cutting. Jesus.
Oh. Some of these are like deep. I feel like I don't take life too seriously. Mine was just like kind of dumb stuff. And then when people put real stuff, I feel like I need to take things more seriously. But I also hate doing that because not taking things seriously is my coping type of mechanism, I guess.
Yes. Okay, that was ins and outs. I don't know that necessarily has legs for us. Any last ins and outs for 2023?
What's in? Lil Wayne? Lil Tunchy?
Little Tennessee. Do you want to do best lyrics today?
Yeah, I do. Because I have some fire ones. Because I was like reading up on my favorite Lil Wayne songs, and I'm like, bars, bars, bars.
All right, let's really get into the performance of every bar.
All right.
All right, number 7.
Okay.
You get number 7. That way you'll get 4. I'll get 3. Top 7 Lil Wayne's lines. Lil Wayne lines.
I only
And
have
according
6.
to...
I'll just say that.
You only need 4.
Oh.
I thought you do 7, I'll do 6. 5,
But
4,
I
3,
only
2.
have 6. Why I don't have 7 to do.
I'm saying combined we have 7. Bruh.
Okay, but I just don't also want to leave any of these 6 out because
Oh.
they're really good. So that's why.
Can you just choose 4 of them? The top...
Yeah.
Last 2 will be honorable mentions.
Okay.
We're doing 7. I love LampPod's 7 best Lil Wayne bars over the years. Okay, go for it.
Like a circle of knives, I've got the sharpest flow around.
Why?
Why? Because when I heard that, I was like, wow. Like a circle of knives, and it's a sharp flow around. I was just like, wow, it's a play on play on play on play. I just felt like it took thinking of correlations to go. I like that one.
What happened to being verbose is out? Anyway, we're moving on.
What happened
I'll
to
cut
sneak
that.
this in is out.
I said it right to your face. Okay, for number 6, safe sex is great sex. Better wear a latex because you don't want that latex that I think I'm latex.
Yep.
You know, we're a relationships podcast, so I think that's just sound advice. He said it correctly and eloquently, and I know for a fact that he's not. Do you think he's subscribing to that?
So what?
To the safe sex?
I'm probably,
not my business. I don't know what level he gets to with a woman before he's like, all right, we don't have to wear protection, right? But I'm sure he's an older man. If he's getting with a random groupie or whatever, he's probably wearing protection.
I just know that Lil Wayne's daughter grew up and she was like singing this video of like Lollipop, and people were like, I bet Lil Wayne didn't expect this. It was like funny.
Huh.
She was also on My Super Sweet 16.
She was?
Yeah, he got her 2 cars.
What 2 cars?
I don't remember, but she was like the only one that got 2 cars.
Bentley and a Rose. Like a Corolla and a Prius? Probably not.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, number 5.
All right. Life is such a fucking roller coaster, then it drops. But what should I scream for? This is my theme park.
Okay,
Bars.
I know what that one's from. It's that Posse cut.
Yeah, I love it because it's like...
What's it from? What's it called?
Man, I think Forever.
Yeah, that's the one.
With the little Drakey we got. Because life is like that, and then you just got to stop and take a beat. It's like, wait, this is my theme park. This is my story.
Okay.
What?
Number 4. I keep on switching wifeys. You gotta Uncle Phil me.
Okay.
So a lot of different hip hop, rappers will kind of make this reference, but referring to over the course of Fresh Prince, how they switched how they switched Aunt Viv's from dark skin Aunt Viv to light skin Aunt Viv, supposedly because dark skin Aunt Viv and Will had some beef. I think some beef about, I don't know. I'm sure Will has spoken about it at length. That's kind of his move. Respect it. That's what I would do if I were famous. But I think he was being unprofessional. She was like, I'm not feeling this, but it's his show.
Apologize later. They talked about it on that, the reunion.
Oh, on the HBO reunion?
One. It was really good.
I have to catch that. Because
he was, really young when it happened, and kind of immature, and he's, talking about his mindset then, and, coming around, and how she felt, really upset, because that was, her one job, and yeah. Should check it out.
Yeah. I keep on switching wifeys. You gotta Uncle Phil me.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay.
Number
3?
Number 3.
Okay. Big house, long hallways. I got 10 bathrooms. I could shit all day.
Big house.
Bars.
Long
hallways.
Long hallways.
I got 10 bathrooms. I could shit all day.
Could shit all day. Hell yeah. Okay. You want to comment? Care to comment?
That's just funny, having a lot of bathrooms. Who has 10 bathrooms? It's ridiculous.
It'd be funny to see Lil Wayne as a realtor.
Yeah. You really want this house. He's got 10 bathrooms. You could shit all day.
Good shit all day.
What?
Okay. Okay, so what is this? Number 2? Number 2 for me. From Mrs. Officer. So, haha. And after we're done, I said, lady, what's your number? She says 911.
Good one.
It's like, I ain't telling you. Just call 911 so we can have sex.
My turn?
Yes.
I'm so excited about this.
Number 1 bar. I Love Lamps. Number 1 Lil Wayne bar.
This line speaks to me. Okay. Yes, I do it big. Call me little astronomical. Wheezy F, baby, and the F is for phenomenal. This is so funny to me. I love it.
Yeah. Because it's
phenomenal.
It's ignorant, but it's just so cool that it's like, if you are hung up about that, shut up, you lame. Phenomenal.
He's just hooked on phonics. But anyway, I think you're bionic.
Okay, and you had some honorable mentions.
Beautiful, but I think you're beyond it. Yeah, but now that I'm reading them, compared to the funny ones, the other one was if you got a problem with Einstein. Okay, I like that one. Solve it. And then the other one, now I'm thinking about it, I'm like, it's I'm rare, like Mr. Clean with hair. But it's in that ET. He's like, I'm rare, like Mr. Clean with hair. He's like, phone home, Wheezy. Phone home. And if you feel like going up next, go ahead and do the Wheezy Wee and phone home.
Okay. What do we want to talk about next?
What is on the list?
Only 20% of the population works out.
That's what our instructor said that one day, which seems kind of crazy. But
that can't be true.
Also, it could be true because apparently
20% of people work out.
No, I mean, think about it.
Only 1 in 5 people only work out.
You're going to the gym with a bunch of people that work out. That's your
selection bias.
You're surrounded by. Yeah.
It just feels low, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's why I was like, ooh, that's really not good.
I mean, even old people be having sex. It's like working out.
Okay, it says CDC reports only 23% of Americans get enough exercise.
every day.
Yeah, but that was from 2018. Now it's like 19.3% from Feb 2022.
Okay. I bet however many work out, it's way more than that in January, guys. Crunch has been freaking packed out. The gym that we go to. I've been mixing up at Crunch because I'm not lifting primarily. I've been training for a 15K in March. So when we do go to Crunch, I checked out one of those HIIT workouts with you.
Yeah.
And that lady that runs it, what's her name?
Kara.
Kara.
She's very fun.
She's fun. I swear, I've been annoyed by her before because I'll be in that section before and I'm like trying to do my own workout and then like this class like descends upon the area.
Yeah, they like close it off so the other people can't come in during the class, and some people get upset because they want to use that like HIIT area.
Yeah.
And stuff.
But this time, it was
cool. In the class instead of being on the outside, and it's really fun.
It's a fun little workout. And yeah, besides that, we've been doing yoga. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just mixing it up in 2023. Trying some new workout classes. Well, yoga's not really new for us. We've been doing yoga.
Yeah.
Which I dig. Okay, 20% though. Come on, guys. Get your workouts in. You'll feel better. It's better for your mental clarity, you know. It'll save you a lot of money in the long run. As long as you don't, like, start taking anabolic steroids or anything. Even though you will look like a god.
Even just, like, light walks.
Yeah, just 20-minute walks. Really clears the head. Get a little exercise. Walk your dog. You know what I mean? I already told you about the 95% of misbehaviors.
If you don't have a dog, walk your invisible dog.
Yeah. Bark for it.
Yeah. Get an AI app that simulates that you have a dog.
I love walking over at Neptune Beach.
Yeah.
I ran there with little Gussie this morning. It's just vibes, you know? I want to buy property out there. We'll get there. Okay, what else? Tipping is weird.
Yeah, that's what that article suggested. Just how it was like they wanted to tip the sub maker because their sandwich was like super bomb, I guess, and she was super nice when they put it together. And he's like, I want to tip you. And she's like, we can't accept tips. And then like that little kiosk machine asked for a tip and like no person talked to him like at all. And he was just kind of like, what?
There's no common sense with what does tip and what doesn't tip. And then, like, certain things you go get every day, you're, like, tipping every day on little purchases.
It's just, like, weird. Like, with all the iPad things now, because it's always, like, do you want to tip? And it's, like, for things I'm like, should you be tipping for this? It's, like, awkward, I think. Yeah. Or, like, your, like, pickup orders when all they did was, like, put it together, you know? Like, they didn't really bring it or stuff. I'm trying to think of other things that have, like, a tip when you check out.
Yeah, it just doesn't always line up. Tipping is an important part of the service economy, unfortunately. What do you think? Would you rather kind of just have everything more expensive, but then waiters and service people like get like a living wage? Or do you kind of like think it's important that there's like this motivation for people to, you know, please the customer and, you know, work for tips?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like tips are fine and stuff. I just wish it was, like, clear communication. Like, I feel like waitresses and stuff, you're supposed to do that, and, like, bartenders, but then it gets, like, kind of fuzzy if they're doing, like, a service. Like, say a handyman comes here and does something. Yeah. Do you tip them? Yeah. Or, like, when we had our lawn mowed, do you tip? Like, I don't. Those are when I'm like, what? I don't understand.
I'm remembering. Yeah, I
agree with
Dwight Schrute's reasoning.
Oh, what was it?
That he only tips people for jobs that he can't do himself.
Oh, okay.
Like he tips like his endocrinologist or something, but then he won't tip like his barber because he could cut his own hair.
Doctors like are doing a service too. Like, do we start tipping doctors? I guess I'm just like, there's not really a line for me.
Yeah, we just encountered this too because like when we picked Gus up, you know, it was like $150 worth of, you know, dog hair cutting services. Haircutting and a bath. And, you know, I was kind of expecting to pay like half of that because they needed to do one more thing. So I just went with the no tip because I'm like, dude, I'm already paying like what I've, double what I feel. They definitely did great work, but just in the moment, it just was like, no, I'm not paying extra from this. Like,
Yeah, his dog haircut was equivalent to a woman's haircut with cut and color.
that's crazy that
And
women's
like
haircuts
long.
are that important. I mean,
Long,
are that
too.
expensive.
Like a 3-hour appointment.
Yeah, they had him
almost.
for a long time though. We were supposed to record while he was getting his haircut, but life has a funny way.
Yeah,
Gets in the way.
he's a little loud and high energy sometimes. So we're like, perfect, he won't be here, but he went on the super long run with you today and played with dogs. So we're like, he'll be chilled out, which he has been.
He has been. Good for him. Love you guys. Okay. Okay.
What? Okay, so tipping. Is it in or out for 2023?
Tipping is... I'll never say that tipping is out. Just made me sound broke as hell.
Right.
I will say only use services that have tips associated when you can afford to tip.
I say tipping is tiptoeing on the line of in and out.
Wow.
Bars.
You're riding that fence, aren't you?
Yep. Well, like
I'll say stay home and cook. When you do go out, freaking tip. When you order pizza or Jimmy John's to your house, you better fucking tip the driver.
that one time you ordered pizza and I thought you already tipped the driver, and it was so awkward because I opened the door and I was like, oh, thank you. And he like looked at me so weird and I was like, oh, that's awkward. And I looked on the thing and you didn't tip him.
Yeah, because I was going to pay.
And I didn't know that. And it was so awkward.
Was that when we had Kurt over and we were kind of messing around with the podcasting stuff?
Yeah.
That is not my fault. I was planning to tip him. Was it even a credit card thing or was it cash?
He was like there for a while though, because I was getting home and he was at the
my
door,
God,
and I was
that's
like,
so
oh, I
cringe,
know.
dude. I used to deliver both Jimmy John's and pizza, you know, when I was coming up in high school and in undergrad. So,
like, it's not even your fault. I feel like it's so rare for people to tip with cash, you know. So I like didn't even really think that way.
yeah, god damn, that's so awkward. Tipping is weird.
Yeah.
I want to travel in 2023 and like see these alternatives to this whole tipping game.
Yeah. Or like
I'm over
in
it.
Home Alone when he's like a tip and he like gives him gum.
They don't tip in Japan, you know.
I didn't know that.
Okay. Moving on. Prince Harry got 25 bodies. Yo. So this just came out. I saw it on Academics, but it came out on the New York Times in a soon-to-be-released memoir from Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, currently vacated and living with his wife, Princess Meghan Markle of Suits in California. So while he was serving with the British Army, I don't know, SAS, Special Services or whatever, apparently he's got 25 bodies, 25 dead Taliban. He's saying that's just how they trained him. He's not proud, but he's not ashamed of it. Like, they trained him to kind of dehumanize the enemy and kill them before they could kill us, etc. Any comments? That's the ginger one, guys, just in case y'all don't remember Prince Harry.
On that, no, not really. I mean,
What do you think about
I'm
the idea
excited.
of leadership serving in the military? Important?
I'm excited to read his memoir, but what I really like about Harry is he's very mental health forward. I think he's like the first kind of leader to do that stuff, and so I didn't know that about him, and I'm like wondering if that like really influenced him to really take his like mental health seriously, because I think it was like Obama, I need to fact check this at the end, that he had a talk with, and like it really started like coming out, like just like taking care of yourself and self-care.
I mean, he's definitely been through a lot. Not to
Yeah.
like boo-hoo Mr. Rich Kid, but like, he saw his mother, can we say assassinated? I mean, arguably some sketchy stuff, and how, the press demonized her, and then
And you're like
seeing it happen again to his wife.
you're like seeing that, and then you're seeing it all over the media.
Yeah.
And
Oh, it's fine.
Oh,
It's still
okay.
recording.
no, but yeah, you're like seeing that. You're seeing it all over the media. I feel like you're always in the spotlight. You can't really like have a chance to cope and stuff. That would be hard for me. But your question was, would that help as a leader?
I don't really know what the question was, to be honest. Like, how do you feel about it? is
I
it
feel like
good for us to participate in this so that we're like more connected to when we send off our?
I don't know. I mean, it depends on what so undercover boss, when those bosses go in and actually do what their employees are doing, I feel like that makes them better owners of the company. I would assume it's kind of a similar
I like it
thing.
because, in the Army and stuff in the States, it's like there's kind of a stereotype, which is kind of borne out by truth, that like the poor fight the wars and the rich kind of, stay in the United States and benefit off of it. So that's kind of a lot of the times the case. I mean, we're kind of fighting for business interests a lot of the time. There's definitely been, just wars and meaningful conflicts. I'm going to step away from this one because I don't really know how I feel about it, to be honest.
Yeah. You and I aren't like very political people. I mean, we're obviously into like current news and like what the world is doing, but we're not so like.
We're trying to stay away from partisanship.
Yeah.
Although I think, the alt-right right now is really scary in this country, but
either side of the extreme is very
I don't
scary.
really think Antifa is that big a deal. Like, I think it's definitely like spun out of control in like Portland, but like mostly it's just like another one of those alt-right scare tactics, the boogeyman, fucking immigrants, lazy people here to take your jobs. Like, how are they lazy and taking your jobs, people? Like, choose a side.
Yeah.
Are immigrants lazy or hardworking? It's the latter.
I mean, obviously, I feel like they're more hardworking than the general population, but it's not just the right side. Like the left side is like,
there's definitely some issues on both sides of which is why we refrain from choosing sides.
Welcome back, everyone, to I Love Lamp,
episode 4,
where we are continuing with our next question because we love doing questions. We got feedback that you guys like the questions. You like answering them along. Yes. We also got feedback that you love the book talk.
Right.
Book time. What was it?
Book review corner.
Yes. So if you want to go ahead.
Right. So book review corner. What I recently read was Street Smarts by Jim Rogers. I think I mentioned this on a previous pod, but Jim Rogers is It is not the one you meant to press. God damn it. That was so ass.
I thought it would be something else. Okay, so your Street Smarts to Jim Rogers.
There we go.
I was looking for the boo. Do we have that on? So you finished?
Yeah, I finished it. He's an investor. He worked on the Soros fund, or the Quantum Fund with George Soros. Retired by 37. Big Wall Street guy. His big thing was like America is doomed, or not doomed, but we're likely to go the way of Britain and Spain and Rome and Portugal. These former world powers that didn't adapt from after they made it to their peak and are kind of unwilling to change and will kind of lower in world prominence, not fall off the face of the earth, but he basically thinks China's ascendant, that for us to make meaningful, progress, like there's all this political gridlock and bureaucracy that's keeping us from making the changes that we need to do to like remain relevant as a world power over the next, 30, 40 years. Among them was like educational reform, cutting down imposing term limits on senators, make them live amongst their constituencies instead of in D.C. year round, where they're just glad handing and getting, lobbyist support throughout the year. That and like different economic protections that we do. We moved away from, having a gold-backed dollar. Stuff like that. I mean, it's not the most current thing. I think it was written in like 2014, so there's been obviously a lot that's come to pass with our economy since then, but a lot of it's pretty relevant, and it's just just begs the question, like, dang, how do I invest in Asia? Like, is it like currency exchange or fucking investing in businesses there? it's really not clear to me how to action on it, but it's some good perspective from somebody who, you know, knew how to work the markets in the 20th century. I don't know. Anywhere you're kind of, is this like piquing your curiosity? Do you have any questions about it, or maybe his personal life, or?
It just sounds really academic, and I mean, probably good to have that information. I feel like it's something I would need to read, like on my own, to understand and stuff. And like I feel like financial knowledge is always good to have to equip yourself. Yeah. But
it's one guy in it. It's a perspective on it, and he's a pretty interesting guy. He traveled the world, like I said. He traveled the world in a motor car with his wife, and then before that, he traveled the whole world using a motorcycle. Mm-hmm. Like on the way was like investigating markets and stuff, but mostly just like as a pleasure trip. And his 2 kids are growing up with him and his wife in Singapore. He's like wants them to learn Mandarin because he thinks it's like the language of the future, which, you know, he might be right. And that's like a pretty trendy thing among like American elites, I feel like, to like, oh, learn Mandarin, not Spanish, because blah, blah, blah. You want to like be able to interact with business. And a little bit of, some of it is like gloom and doom from old man Withers, but, you know, he also is qualified to share his reservations. I mean, he's kind of proven that he knows how finances work by becoming a, you know, I don't know what he's worth, honestly, but multi-millions. So, good book. Fun read. Right now I'm reading To Sell is Human, which is about sales and how before there was like a specialized salesman, and the way that the economy has changed, almost everyone has some sort of sales capacity to them. Whether you're a small business owner, you need to like have sales in your repertoire, or if you're, you know, in education or medical field, you're kind of selling people on why something matters, why they need to take care of themselves. Let me just curtail because I feel like I'm just going on and on. But interesting read, really not blowing my mind, but it's good perspective. You go ahead.
That makes sense. I really like him as an author. Daniel, he has like really
Daniel
good,
Pink?
Yeah, he has a lot of videos too, because that's the guy that was the author of my last book.
Oh, the Regrets one.
Mm-hmm. It's like, that's his newer book, and that one, all his books are pretty well known and good. He's like a Malcolm Gladwell.
Yeah,
guy.
Definitely. Like, here's an argument that you think is a little counterintuitive, or you know it, but you haven't thought about it a lot. Let me like blow it up.
Like he looks at it at all angles. That's what I like, and just kind of like shapes your mind, I guess, helps you grow it. But I haven't picked a new book recently because we are on like our trip and stuff. I need to go to the library and get a new one. I've been reading a lot of The Atlantic articles and WSJ articles.
Any ones that you want to highlight, stick out?
I think just like funny ones. I just like how they're all different. No, not really. I just like reading them because they're all different types of thing, which is what I want to do for my next book, because my favorite genre is always like biographies or autobiographies. And I realized like I've always read that type. And when I was like getting that stuff done about my appointment, she was like asking me why I came here to Florida, and I was like, I just wanted to move. And I feel like a common theme in all my people's biographies is like taking that leap, like stepping out of your comfort zone. So it was just like when I was like growing up, I'm like, oh, this is the stage where I'm like, I take my leap, like I go out of my comfort zone. Like it wasn't like a second thought to me. It was like, this is what I do. And so when people are like, oh my gosh, you did that, you're like, I'm just kind of like, yeah, like isn't everyone supposed to do that? But I want to read like different books, I think this time, like new genres and new stuff that I don't know anything about.
Like fiction, or mostly
yes, fiction, but also like I like nonfiction too, but a lot of like kind of like things I don't even believe, like just not opening, but like learning about other things that I don't necessarily know about or like, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I know
kind of broadening your horizons.
Yeah, Neil deGrasse like says you should do
Angie?
that.
NGT.
Well, like you should, yeah,
NDT.
like you should read things that are conflicting with your point of view.
Right.
Like, don't just read things that you like.
Yeah.
Like, also
They challenge you.
Yeah, yeah.
And you have to be like, wait a minute. This is a smart person. How did they get to this conclusion? Mm-hmm. That's kind of why I read Jim Rogers, man. I mean, I'm not normally down to like, okay, Mr. Old White Guy, look at how he has his hands in his pockets with his jeans.
Yeah.
And like, I would kind of see this and like, this dude is lame. Like, he seems like an Asian fetishist or something. But I'm glad I like got into it because ultimately he had some really interesting perspectives, you know, for a like white man saying Asia's ascendant. Like, why do you think that way? Let me suspend my disbelief and like go into it. You know what I mean? Maybe we'll look into like some, what do you call it? Some literature on.
You're reading a book I love. Though you're not reading it, you're listening to it.
Oh,
Greenlights.
Greenlights.
I love that book. I've actually listened to it twice.
All right.
I will listen to it a lot.
This dog won't hunt. He's got such a great voice.
Greenlight.
Greenlight.
I love that. Like sometimes I like whisper that in my head when like something's
Greenlight.
right. Yeah, I'm like Greenlight.
Yeah, he's just cool, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, he just came back from Africa, where he like wrestled that dude.
It was on the Nile River.
Yeah, that was like his previous trip. So he had a wet dream where it's not even something sexual. It's like anacondas and piranhas and like alligators like wrapping themselves around him. And he came from that. And he knew that it was the Amazon River and that there were African tribesmen on the bank. So he woke up from his dream and looked for like 30 minutes at a globe looking for where the Nile was in Africa until he realized it was in South America. Went to South America.
Follow your dreams, man.
Follow your dreams, man. He hiked up to Machu Picchu, which is apparently the highest city that is still inaccessible by car, or like one of the biggest cities in the world that's inaccessible by car.
Interesting.
Then floated
I feel like a lot of people visit there.
Yeah, then floated the Amazon River the whole way down. Got back, shot a few movies, had that dream again, and he's like, okay, this time Africa. This dude's crazy. He lived in like an RV van or like a custom, like, yeah, I think he towed like an Airstream and then just went around the country and like would take meetings from executives that would just fly into some nearby airport. He'd pick them up. They'd have a meeting while he drove and then drop them off at some other airport and then continue away. Just a wild life. Like, he just knew how to have a good time with his fame, I feel like. And he always knows when to like challenge himself, you know? Like, he's been there's a part where he was like, oh, I've been having too many green lights. He's like living at like this nice Hollywood hotel where he's just like hooking up and like, you know, being a Hollywood star, and he's like, wait a minute. Life's getting a little too easy. I need to like make it hard again.
One thing I really like about that book too is, you know, I just love quotes, like little mindset quotes, and he has those bumper stickers like all throughout the book, and it's one of my favorite things. Do you have like a favorite? That's kind of on the spot, but do you have a favorite bumper sticker? I'm kind of browsing some right now, but
let me see. Oh man, I want to
so
find
many
some
good ones,
from
you know?
from the book, because especially right in the beginning, I feel like he put some of his like top bars. I was like, holy crap!
Right.
This is starting like before he even gets to the narrative of his life, he's just like coming out swinging. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. This is something that I love to hear, or that I need to hear. Sometimes which choice you make. Wait a minute. Sometimes
What?
Sometimes which choice you make is not as important as making a choice and committing to it. What the hell?
That's what I'm saying.
I was wondering why you're interrupting me.
I didn't mean to. He just... Sorry. Well,
okay, hold on. I can't have him bump up.
that's fine.
Okay, wow, he's just chilling.
He's supposed
All
to
right,
be good now.
Gus invaded the room.
I must have forgot to shut the
He invited the room, man.
Green light.
Green light.
Oh, such a cute boy.
Wow. To lose the power of confrontation is to lose the power of unity. Probably a political one, but true. Great leaders are not always in front. They also know who to follow. You got anything? I don't want to just go on and on.
There's like one specific one I'm looking for that I can't find, but there's like another few side ones I really liked. It was like, we all step in shit from time to time. We hit roadblocks. We fuck up. We get fucked. We get sick. We don't get what we want. We cross thousands of could have done better and wish that wouldn't have happened in life. And stepping in shit is inevitable. And so let's either see it as a good luck or figure out how to do it less often, which I like. But that's not really a bumper sticker.
I like that one that he got from the African artist, like jazz artist he visited. It's like, there's like a wet shit and a dry shit. Like, wet shit is remembered. Dry shit is forgotten. It's like you want to be like wet shit. You want to be remembered.
This is one I like too. Okay, well, there's just like a lot of good ones that are coming up. One of them is like, God, when I cross the truth, give me the awareness to receive it, the consciousness to recognize it, the presence to personalize it, the patience to preserve it, and the courage to live it. Because I feel like I want all those embodied in me when I'm like with situations that are for me, you know?
I definitely fucking rewinded that when I heard that. I was like, oh shoot, rewind. Gotta hear that again.
I kind of want to like memorize that one and like have it be a mantra.
Do you not want to try the impression one time? Like, it's still a good bar when you read it as your voice, but just try and do the McCONAUGHey.
That one's too long, though. I'll try this. Great leaders are not always in front. They also know who to follow. I don't have a man voice, so I can't sound like Matthew McConaughey.
Hey, I'm Matthew McConaughey. A girl. Okay. Sorry, babe. All right. What else we got? Dual monitor setups. I'll save that for another time. Kim and North did a TikTok. Kim Kardashian and her daughter Northwest did a TikTok where North was looking like Ye with like the beard and like the hoodie.
I don't know if it was like a filter or Gus, come here. Come here.
If he bumps into that one tripod,
Gus, come here.
because it's not actually mounted.
Gus.
I'm so scared.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a filter or what.
But can we speculate?
Just like him?
Can we speculate?
Okay.
What, she wants him back or what?
I don't know. I feel like she's teasing him.
So is he still missing?
I don't know. People are saying he's missing, but I don't know if he's just doing like the hideout thing, because when he did all that stuff to Taylor, like back in the day, he like lived in Europe for a little while and went undercover.
Went off the grid.
Yeah.
It's a move.
Off the grid.
It's probably good for him considering where he was at. Just take some time off.
But like she doesn't have any comments turned on those videos because it's like North, which I'm sure would get some like crazy comments. I want to know like people's opinions.
I don't want to know because I feel like they're just gonna say disrespectful shit. Some people ruin it for everybody.
Those ones aren't the ones I want to read. I would want to know like what people think about it. Like, oh, are you like how we think about it? Are you getting back with Kanye? Do you want Kanye? Like,
yeah. She could be trolling, but who knows? Yeah, Gus is in here. I'm not sure if he's picking up on any cameras. Our tripod situation is completely different than the last one. Really looking forward to consistency in 2023. That's what I want the most. Just some consistency in my professional life and this podcasting life.
All aspects.
Of course, we want consistency with an upward trajectory, but I don't want to like always figure out the basics every single time. And I mean that in a lot of different ways. That was episode 4 of I Love Lamp.
Yes, thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in, listening to us talk about, some of our favorite movies and TV shows. Everything under the lamp. I like that. Yeah, so thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned for more.
Yes, stay tuned. Lamp
off. I didn't know you were going.